I can record. Yeah, guys, we're all now recorded.
Okay, perfect, great. So I mentioned Shay, myself, the rest of the team. We're very grateful, very, very happy, and we are very early stage ourselves. So we have about 6 active video creators on our site now, but we've had about 100 that we've experimented with. Himanshu is just a colleague that's just joining here too. Some of you may know. And the great thing is we're now much clearer about who we should focus on. And it's 3/4 career development, become a better dentist, a better surgeon, a better product manager, a better engineer, and so on. And about a fifth or personal development, yoga, financial wellness, that sort of thing. So as you know, it's all about the bigger part of the startup journey is very much clear about what you don't want to do and clear about what you want to do. Now that we're there and we've run quite a few experiments with you, most of it's been quite successful. So the intention here is to ramp up, both in terms of numbers. So now there'll be 5 of us having ideally a shadow each. When I say shadow, it's just our StepUp.One colleague or peer. And we intend to have, as we have growth members next year, we intend to continue to do that. And we are moving to essentially having these, having structure around just so we show what some of our priorities are so that you can see. And if, say, an average, there's about 3 hours per day per person, these are some of the areas that we've already done, and I'm just going to recap, but I'm then going to go on to some of the things that we want to start doing more that we've seen work, and then we want to ramp up. So the first one I've just pasted in this chat for everyone. It's just lead gen emails, which you're doing, and this should be thought of as a filler. And when we try and experiment and we contact people, the leads that you have generated are not just the cleanest, but have the best responses. That's correct, Shrey, right? It's over 98% of the emails actually work, and it's about a third see it, or at least there's like a response. Well, excuse me, they don't take any action, but we know that they've read it, which is really good. Like, it's really good. So
the Patreon list is very clean.
Yeah. So whatever you're doing, that's like really working. So we have a few thousand now with your help. Whenever that gets 10,000, 20,000, that ought to continue, and that's really, really good. The second is what we started in the last couple of weeks, which is lead gen outbound, averaging. If we can get if our limit is 20 a day, and you have a few of our LinkedIn's, you'll have all 5 of ours soon. Let's push it for 20 a day each, so that we're getting 100 outbound per day. And our task is to ensure at least a week in advance, you have for that week the full criteria by which you ought to go ahead and like connect with people. You briefly mentioned a bit about events, and it's like the program that you have, and that's working really well. We'll have an eye to that. Next year, we'll shortlist a few events, and we'll run this strategy and exactly say, highlighting who they are, connecting, saying, we want to meet you there. And afterwards, like, just running. I think it's a perfect scalable hook, and I can see why it's kind of done so well. I will pause there before I go on to 2 things, which are now a little bit new.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions before I go on to the new things? So
we are okay, because this is what we've been already doing.
Bread and butter. Yeah, absolutely. I just wanted to do a bit of a recap. And okay, so if we, on the supply side, we're getting video content creators. I'm just going to predominantly talk about career developments. Mm-hmm. And on the demand side, we're now starting to sell to enterprises. So this is founders and tech scale-ups and startups in particular. Roughly 50 employees, so about 500 is what we're going to focus on for the first half of next year, and then go on to bigger startups and scale-ups. The benefit of 50 to
why 500. Sorry, Hussein, why are you calling them as demand? They're suppliers, right?
So demand insofar as they pay us to get access to the content creators.
Right.
Yeah.
Got it.
Exactly. So that's generating demand, and that's going to help us get even more supply, because we go to creators and say, look, we already have paying enterprise clients. They want your demand. They want your products. Come and like buy from us.
Sure.
So with that said, this and 50 to 500, because most of them don't yet have a learning management system. This is a great introduction. I'm going to now tell you quite a bit about the product, just so you understand, but it's more for your information.
Sure.
I've got a few examples to sort of share.
Please,
What we are, we're kind of the way we're structuring it with them, and so the separate database that you have of founders and so on, there's probably a good chunk of work we can do on that next year, which we'll come on to.
Yeah.
What we are taking to enterprises is about 40, roughly. There are some horizontal course content and vertical content. By horizontal, I just mean it applies to every single person. It's entrepreneurship, leadership, networking, well-being, all those sorts of things that across and languages, like learning Spanish, French. And then we have vertical specific ones, becoming a better marketing manager, a better sales rep, better, and all these different vertical ones. So on the vertical ones, we intend to, as a platform, be as niche as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And our whole view is that YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, they're appropriate for mass appeal content because the algorithms pushes you up and you suddenly become a celebrity. Whereas the vast majority of people can't get there and aren't a fit for that. When you become niche, that's where you actually can monetize properly because you have a unique expertise. But you struggle with discovery. People don't know who you are and where you are. You usually have a bit of a LinkedIn profile, sometimes a bit on Twitter, sometimes very little on YouTube. That's where we say are underserved. That's what we want to find, structure, bundle, help with discovery. And on the niche, we talk about 3 levels. As an example, level 1 niche is a creator that talks about being a speechwriter, which is, there might be like 50 on TikTok even. Level 2 niche is being a speechwriter as an exec in a company. That's a little bit more unique. There may be like 25 people in the world. Level 3 niche is being a speechwriter as an exec in a software company or in a startup. That is a level 3 niche. There may be only a dozen people in the world. There are going to be 4 or 5 of them on LinkedIn. 1 or 2 of them are going to be doing courses or coaching or mentoring. We want to get them and put them on Quench and put them in a vertical, one of our vertical offerings.
Sorry, Hussein, I thought, level 2 and level 3, yes. I thought you would see level 3 is somebody who writes speeches for Obama.
No, niche in terms of training people about how to be a speechwriter.
No, I know. So, like people who wrote speeches for Obama could be like, the really top cream, the guys who do masterclass.
Exactly. Like masterclass. Yeah, exactly. And you could think of the top people like masterclass. They are like Axelrod or Bill Gates. No, Bill Clinton.
No,
but
yeah.
I'm interested in like exactly say level 3 speeches, like speechwriter for Obama. He's just done a course. Go and watch it. That's exactly it. That's exactly who we're going for. And our offer to them is quite compelling. We say, look, you're not doing well on YouTube. You're doing okay on LinkedIn, and you got a few clients paying you privately. But we will put you on our platform. We'll take you to enterprises, and we'll do a revenue share with you. And that's essentially what they like. So another example is we already have 2 sales development rep sales training, right? And we have we're onboarding someone who is training to write RFPs for businesses. Now, how niche? That's level 3 niche, right? That's perfect because you're an enterprise. You want to do an RFP. You got some junior team members. You say, go and do that course and learn. So I will get into far more detail than is needed. That's just because I want you to understand, but it's just pure information. Our pricing model for enterprises is £6 per employee per month. So you pay £72 per year, and your team can go in and they can watch. We're going to have about 70 courses to begin with, across different some horizontal, some vertical. Now, the creators that we prioritize the most are those who have video courses, but they also have add-ons, which is a one-on-one coaching or workshops or cohort learning. And in that way, they typically make 80% of their money from their workshops and cohort learning, right? Not much from their courses relatively. So we're telling them, come and do a revenue share on your video courses. We do 50-50 revenue share with you based on how much your content is watched by these enterprises. And for all the add-ons, like you want to do a £500 workshop, you keep 80% of that. We only get 20% of that. But discount your courses, your video, because it's no marginal cost for you. but in return, we're giving you leads to upsell this. And from an enterprise perspective, let's say you got 200 team members, 20 marketers, and they all continue to say, look, we want to learn, we want to develop. You now give them all these courses, but those 20, 10 of them will never log in. 6 of them will log in a little bit. 4 of them will be super dedicated. And 2 of them might say at the end of it, okay, I've loved this. Can I please get the budget to go onto like a cohort learning workshop? That's essentially the thinking. Let me pause there. What do you think of the model? I just like feedback.
I'm just like, I'm always worried about your competition, right? I know, you, like, how are you going to stand? It's a great model, Hussein. I'm just, if I look at the roadmap of YouTube, if I look at the roadmap of Spotify, some of these guys are literally going to be, breathing down on your throat, literally.
Very good question. Very good question. Okay, so that's super relevant to my next thing. And so our whole hypothesis is that YouTube, Instagram, TikTok are always going to be for mass appeal content. You will find niche appeal content on there, but you have to know what you're looking for, or you have to spend an hour searching for it. And that will continue to be the case.
I'm sure you've seen. I've been a masterclass member for a long time now, right? So are you now trying to position yourself between this mass appeal, YouTube, Spotify, and this extreme appeal, which is masterclass? Masterclass will bring Serena to teach tennis, right? So we're not trying to do that. We are trying to do Serena -2 or -1, but not like some commodity player who teaches tennis at every nook and corner. So are you somewhere in between these two?
So what you tend to find is the problem with, say, places like Masterclass and most courses online, you typically have about a 7% completion rate. So it sounds good. So I type in product manager in Udemy, I got 10,000 courses, and only 7% of people who start a course finish a course. What people really want, what they're actually paying for, there's a small proportion who are super rich, and they're typically kind of skilled in startups, and the startups got VC money and they're spending a lot of money. They want to pay, and they very much want to do the basics, but they want the one-on-one and they want the cohort learning. That's where you get completion rates of over 80 or 90%. And as an employer who's paying the bills, I don't want to pay for only 7% completion rate. I want to pay for 90% completion rate. So I want to know who is actually completing the courses and who should I give a budget to essentially go and develop. And the separate thing is there's different layers in the tech stack. So if I share my screen.
Well, if you don't mind, Hussein, I think this is what you said is just amazing to me, right? So you're basically not focused on, it's not about commodity content or masterclass content. It's not even about content. It's about, yes, content is important. That's like a basic, but it's about completion. Right?
That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
Completion, right? Screw all the commodity masterclass, because in both places, I keep paying money, but I never complete anything.
100%. And we're going to use that line with your permission, with no copyright.
Yeah.
And it's about completion, not whatever you said. I'm sure Shrey took a note.
No, we bloody recording the damn thing. So I'm going to come back and sue the hell out of you, actually.
Good. You're precisely you're precisely correct. And I'll tell you one other thing, because content, as you and I have discussed, like, it should be a space that you guys could do a lot, and hopefully we'll be the partner to help. But AI is coming and taking away a lot of it. Like, what you really are not going to get away from is those experts. And we say there's going to be 10,000 niche categories with typically 2,000 members in each one, right? On average.
Yeah.
And that gets you 200 million. And that's worth more than Netflix, which has got more than 200 million, but just in entertainment. That's just one category. 90% of Netflix, as you know, is mainstream entertainment. So the smaller ones we say are a lot more defensible. And we're assuming that in the next 5 years, a lot of the content at the surface level content is going to be commodified. The one that says, if you want to be an entrepreneur, wake up and write about your goals and all that sort of stuff is the grifters that are on TikTok, right? So anyway, what we're doing is we say that there are two types of video creators. there's mass appeal ones, and they just simply put it on YouTube, get hundreds of thousands of views, get AdSense. That's great. That's suited for other platforms. Then the other end of the spectrum, there are niche video creators who have a handful. This is the way we represent it. Niche. So mass creators are at the bottom, many viewers, 1 or 2 cents each, but they have to get hundreds of thousands consistently. And then you got niche content creators who may have like 50 users, but some of them are paying them £50, £100, and they make a lot of money. We're saying the extremes are going to win. The ones in the middle are less likely to. And there's no platform for the niche extreme, and that's kind of where we come in.
Awesome.
So we're giving them the tech stack to be able to do all of it. We tell them.
Hussain,
go for it.
How would you validate the niche extreme? Because
very good, very important question. So there's 2 things, and the first thing is it's extremely hard. Yeah. We have had TikTokers with millions of followers that they come on Quench and they can't get more than 20 emails from members, like people signing up. And then we've got some obscure people who may have only 500 people on LinkedIn. Yeah. And then they get you 100 emails within like 24 hours. Sure. So the 2 things that we care about the most, how quickly can you get 100 people to sign up? Give you their email address, and even watch some of your content for free. We tell everyone that they should put some of their content on for free as a taster.
Yeah,
premium. And so your question, the answer is 2 parts. The first is how quickly can you get 100 people signing up? And the second is, once they've signed up, how much they engage with your content. Do they switch off after watching 10%, or do they watch it till the end? Those 2 metrics are by far the strongest indicator of who has content market fit and who doesn't. And so we're kind of like an accelerator, actually. We have creators signing up. We see how the numbers play out, and then we double down on the ones that we can see have content market fit. The others can use the platform. They pay £25 a month, but we will double down where there's content market fit. And I have to tell you, 98% of YouTube and everyone else who creates content, they can't teach, and they don't have content market fit. As a very minority, about less than 2% do. No. And your question on like sort of Instagram, YouTube comparisons, we tell them, if you're mass appeal, all you need is that platform. But if you're niche appeal, you need a full tech stack. Start by continuing to leverage your Twitter, your LinkedIn. Continue that you can pull in a bit of audience from that. However, come on Quench and build your business by layering some of your content, premium free content. So some of your course, make it available for free for people to engage, and you collect email addresses that way. Second is put some content on it for them to be buying transactions like £50, £100, whatever. Ultimately, you want to have enough content for them to pay a subscription. Often you are very small and they won't pay a subscription for you, but we will bundle you with 5 or 6 similar to you, so you can bundle and do it that way. And crucially, don't worry about this too much. This is only going to be about 1/5 or 1/4 of your revenue. Structure your add-ons, one-on-one Zoom calls, coaching, or cohort learning workshops, and structure that. And don't worry, if your course is like £50, put your workshop at £500, £800, because there'll be very few people who will absolutely pay for that. And this is the model that's now working. This is what we're going to spend next year scaling.
I got it. And now tell me, is Quench going to so for sort of moving from that mass or freemium appeal to the premium content to the actual live content, is Quench going to build those things, the Zoom meetings?
Yeah. So this is what I need help with. So the last 2 points I have on the list is structuring video channels and promoting video channels. And now I'm going to explain exactly what I mean by that. So, and Shrey, I'm going to trouble you to do a demo of our backend dashboard in maybe like 5 minutes. So back to just a few demos. You can see my screen, I presume. Yeah. So this is a simple one. This is a video creator that teaches you about sales development training. And he currently has he's got the bits that don't have a padlock are free, and the bits that have a padlock at the bottom, they're paid. So he has this course here for £100. You can do an upsell. He does a workshop for about £4,000, but yet it needs to be a group of 10. So it could be about £400 per person. It's just, this is as basic as it can get. Then we got a separate example where these are 5 musicians that teach you how to play music. You come and you watch some of their stuff. Some of it's free, some of it you pay. And then when you go to the end, and you can click to book a Zoom call or book a workshop with them. And again, they keep the majority of that. We have different arrangements with different creators. On average, the video is typically 50-50 if we take it to enterprises, especially. And if it is their upsells, they keep 80, we keep 20 because there's manual costs and a lot more involved there. But this is if they're part of our growth program where we know they've got content market fits. If we are not in a partnership with them, they pay £25 a month and they keep every revenue themselves. But they struggle to get traction. They struggle to go beyond their existing audience, which is why they kind of need us over time. So structuring the video side, this is what we've worked all of this year for. We've got some amazing engineers. We have about a team of roughly 8. Product design, and then the rest 6 are on the tech side. And you can embed Vimeo and YouTube, but crucially our own hosted option. And as you go in each one, you can click and on the right hand side you can download PDFs. You can do all the things that one would normally need to do for like a, and if this is the same look and feel as Netflix, Prime Video, iPlayer, they're all kind of conforming to the same. It's all about premium content. Let me pause. And then the dashboard end. This is, I've got permission from Layla, as you'd understand, my sister. So on the dashboard end, just to show you what the user sees, they have their videos here. They just upload. They've got the categories and they've got their members, and they can just take the carousels up and down. They can label those. And if I click on like any one of the videos, it's just uploading and the rest of it. It's quite intuitive. This is the dashboard that the creator sees.
Got it.
Shrey shortly is going to show you the dashboard that we see, that I'm going to come back to.
Sure.
But now I want to tell you about the, I told you we've got 70 courses that we're going to go to our enterprise clients with next year. That we got a couple of partners that are doing loads of courses, and then we've got many individual ones. The largest partner that we have is Creo, and they do courses for students at Oxford and Harvard. But this is the kind of thing, like they have networking, a course on networking, and on communication, on negotiation, and so on.
Got it.
So for each, there's 43 here. So for each one of these, this is one that we're contracted with. So all their modules is amazing because it's identical to what we want. They have each module, like negotiation, has 6 videos, 6 courses. And then the 7th one, you opt in to a workshop. And for them, we get the 6 as part of the employee bundle. And the 7th one, you have to get approved for the budget, £100, £200, and then you can join that workshop. So it's a revenue share in that sense. So when it comes to each one of these, we want to create, this one will be negotiation.quench. It's going to be leadership.quench. And in each of these verticals, imagine that this one is called, instead of happy selling, it's called negotiations.quench. The first video, the first 2 carousels, this is what we're now planning to do, and this is what we want some of your help with. This will be across 70 categories to begin with, and then others. So when I say help with admin on, on structuring channels, it'd be us with our partner on StepUp.One, doing Zoom calls, helping them getting a username and password, coming into taking ownership of networking.quench. And then we would give them the videos to populate in the different carousels, right? Sure. So the first, for networking.quench, as an example, the first carousel is going to be, this one at the top, is going to be 5, at least 5 short YouTube, Instagram, or TikTok videos, 1 minute long, very short. It has to be at least 5, but once you click view all, it can be 30, 50, even 100. But it has to be at least 5 to fill out the page.
Sure.
The second carousel is going to be long form YouTube content, free content. The third carousel is going to be the partners that we have that have negotiations content, but that's free. The third carousel is going to be freemium content. The fourth carousel is, the fourth row is going to be our partner, in this example, Creo. And then you can buy that. But then we want to add other creators on there. Create the 5th carousel, 6, we want to go all the way to 10. So the 5th carousel to the 10th carousel, what we're actually doing is putting content from other creators who have courses for sale, but who've not contracted with us yet. We're going to put their content here, and it's going to be, we're going to copy the price that they put on their website. And then if you click on like row 5 to buy it, we're going to show you an email to say, hi, please, we'll get back to you in the next few days. Then we're going to email, then we can take care of this bit. We're going to email that creator and say, look, someone wants to buy his, David Smith at Gmail wants to buy this course. Here's the link where they found you. We have promoted you on our website. You're welcome and congratulations. Now, please contact that person and sell that product to them. Sure. And once we do that a few times with these creators, they'll want to sign up themselves because they're getting traffic, and we'll put them in a punch. So let me pause there because I've gone through quite a bit.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, I think one of you can summarize, Mohammed Hassan or Farah, but I'll try to see. So the first row and the second row are literally YouTube content, and so you guys have already picked those content.
We're curating that. So we have for some, we will do it for the others. So we got a project that we're going to go and do. We'll give you the links for them.
Wow, that's a bloody hard job, actually. It's a really hard thing to do.
Yeah, exactly. You have to, yeah, and that's why it's valuable. You're right. Curation is king, but we have some, but we'll take care of that. I know what you're saying. We've done some, we're doing the others. There are articles, there are blogs, there are ways of finding. And yes, so we'll take care of that. It's more structuring it and putting it in.
So the first 2 rows are basically the teasers. You know, they are basically teasing you with a lot of amazing free content that you would have never found if you were just simply searching the damn YouTube yourself. Yeah,
correct. Or you can find it, but you have to take a few hours.
Yeah, exactly. You know, this is like, you know, maybe one video, right? But not all 10, which you and your expert have spent like hours and hours and curated that first 10 videos, right? You know, free videos, free content. But then you're moving from the first carousel to the second carousel to the third, and then, you know, the complexity and the specificity is so high that you're basically saying, okay, you know, here's the teasers, here's a little bit freemium, and here's the real stuff.
Precisely. And then the real stuff, you have 2 or 3 options, up to like 5, 6.
Yeah.
And you watch 1 or 2 videos of each and say, okay, I like this style, and then you just buy the course.
Got it.
But don't forget that if you're a enterprise client, your team members get to see quite a bit, and naturally they're more likely to purchase from those who've signed the contract with Quench. But if you're a creator that's not giving us any premium content, you're less likely to get the upsell. So that is.
Can you tell a little bit about that? You know, so you said the videos get 50-50 and the live classes get 80-20. Like
that's our starting rate, but some creators are big and therefore they can negotiate better terms. Sure. This is the starting rate for us. Sure. Correct.
Okay. And but so far, I'm assuming that you haven't yet incorporated the live sessions into your Quench platform.
Well, yeah, we have. Some creators have. So the live session, literally, when you want to buy their products, you go and you buy like different courses. One of the products is a one-on-one Zoom call, and one of those is join the workshop. And you just click, you pay with Stripe, and then the creator takes care of scheduling that with you. They can put a Calendly link in there, but they didn't take care of it.
So Quench collects the money basically.
Well, no, the creator connects their Stripe account to Quench. Oh. So yeah, so we're kind of the tech, we're the Shopify. We have 2 parts of the company. One is a Shopify tech infrastructure for you to build your video business on, video channel on. And the second, we're getting hands-on and creating these bundles ourselves to take it to enterprises. And that's what we need, a bit of like your structuring support. But just so you know, we intend to have 10,000 ultimately.
No, I get it. But the problem is, you know, Shopify will never let you pay the vendor directly.
Yeah, well, we will, because we're better.
Or, you know,
Mohammed has got a very good question here. Row 1 and 2 are so great. What's incentive for the clients to buy courses on row 3? Very good question. So you have to, the point is, typically, if you've got a lot of traffic, relevant traffic, 1 in 20 will be a paying customer in our business. Really, 19 will come and watch it for free, 95% watch it for free, and 5% will actually pay. And we're perfectly happy to curate some YouTube and TikTok, Instagram clips for people to get traffic, because that helps us rank on the SEO, right? And rank on Google, and therefore to get more traffic, so that 1 in 20 end up coming and buying.
Could I add like a little like thought over there, which is that there's different, like, going back to Anis, what you were saying about like Serena Williams and Masterclass. Now what Serena teaches is like the most benefit, the person that will benefit the most is an advanced tennis player, not a beginner, not an intermediate.
No.
For a beginner, YouTube is good. For an advanced, you need to go and like learn from Serena. You're probably like already ranked and you're playing competitive tennis on the international level. But then for the intermediate level, those that are playing club level, university level, and so on, YouTube doesn't solve it. Neither does the you don't have access to Serena.
Absolutely.
So that's why like the Carousel 3, Carousel 4, Carousel 5, and so on, like step in. The first two probably like serve the beginners, the middles serve the intermediate, and then those that want to advance go for like one-on-ones or Zooms.
No, I fully get it.
That's a way to think of the audience.
You guys wouldn't believe, there's one similar idea that's been, going on in my head, for founders actually, because I've been like last 4 years, I've met at least 1,000 founders, and I one-on-one, right? And I find that, despite the great ideas that these guys have, they really need, some practical training and practical, guidance. This whole, go back and read Lean Startups and a bunch of books and watch a bunch of videos. They all have theoretical ideas, have no bloody clue how to actually do stuff. So I'm like, really these founders, need some real, on the ground practical tips. Then this book comes out. It's called Zero to IPO by this guy, the founder of Okta. It's like full of jewels, like he just says, okay, the 12 things that founders really must care about, from blah blah, from starting to IPO. And then, but again, theory, right? Lots of theory. The problem is there is there is a huge problem of solving it for that founder, for their problem, rather than this bookish thing, right? So I met this lady from South Korea. She's got this university type of thing, very similar to what you guys are trying to do, called Next Meta. And then she says, look, she herself is trying to take a class on this university called Minerva. Have you guys heard of this? I mean, I'm like I never knew this Minerva University. It's another Silicon Valley type startup, right? But they are like taken this problem to another level altogether, So like, for example, networking, right? They have a course on networking, like almost like a master's on networking. You go there, there is like some 40 skills, and then each skill is ranked or marked based on how you interact on the Zoom class. Like, for example, it basically captures a video of the student and the teacher, and based on what you speak and based on what points you make, the comments you do, you are marked on 40 different characteristics, right? So it's not really a test afterwards. It's literally, what you do during the class. So
we're going to do that. We're going to do that. We know how in the first 1 or 2 carousels you interact with some free stuff. Yeah. In the long term, not now, in like 2-3 years, based on what you like and what you watch, we're going to re-rank the verticals, the carousels or the rows for you.
Right. Now, the point I was trying to make is, I really think, in order for us to be like take it, in order for us to take off, we just need one vertical, right? And one, that vertical could be anything, right? Product management could be, could be a great idea, right? So one vertical, just not too many content, but let's say hundreds of content on that one vertical. And then, the works, serious amount of traffic, yes, it has to be that problem solution or or product market fit has to happen for each vertical. But I really think this founder vertical is a desperate vertical, especially
Absolutely.
in the current time, right? Because if you just, forget about the fact that we're all here and talking, right? You just become a new founder today, right? Hussein, you forget that you ever founded a company. Just go and look for stuff on any particular topic.
Takes you hours.
The amount of bullshit that gets thrown at you.
Yeah. It gets worse every day.
You will be covered with, so much bullshit on your head that you are like, just save me, somebody save me. And then you go to, Eric Ries and, Peter Thiel, and you start reading, and then you get some sanity.
Yeah, but it's getting worse because you got a lot of the crypto profiteers shifting now. They'll all become founder experts. Never managed more than a secretary at best, and yet they know how to run a company.
Hussein, I'm telling you, Hussein, I really am telling you, we should have another call on this topic. I'm meeting these founders every day, and I met like 50 of them in Slash. It just boggles my brain that these guys have some of the best ideas, but no fucking clue how to
execution.
Just do the very basic. If I ask him, show me proof of your problem solution fit, like what? Yeah, we've read problem solution fit in some book somewhere, but what do you mean by proof?
I hear you fully. I'm going to trouble straight to just do a 2-minute demo in a second. Yeah. I will just add two quick things. So Mohamed's also asking a very important, good question around ideal customer and audience. It will be enterprises to begin with, so that we can get scale, but there is nothing stopping us doing individuals as well. So they can come and they just pay the full price. They wouldn't get it like before. We have the technology structured so that if you're in a different geography, or if you're .ac.uk, if you're a student, you get discounts applied. There's no reason why every price of every one of these sites is geared towards the US for $100. If they could do it for $10 in India, $8 in Indonesia, it's extra revenue for them. So we're solving that problem. And these technologies are not accessible to like a course creator sitting at home, right? It's only the infrastructure partner that can do that. So there's a healthy chunk of appetite. Separately, we're putting in the contracts that we at Quench get unlimited access to everything, not on the Zoom calls, but unlimited access. So we, by extension, will give it to you and your team, whatever they want, like improving their SEO skills, improving the digital marketing, whatever it is. So that's just like a bit of a side note. Are you happy to do a demo? And so we're showing you our backend.
Yeah.
We're migrating a lot of our tools that we have access in the backend to the dashboard for the creators. So as we partner with each of us, and we start fleshing out the channels, we'll do Zoom calls, we'll do a lot of hand holding. But just so you know, it is this is the backend that we see as well. Go for it, Shrey.
Sure. This is the dashboard that we want, like how to populate, create, and configure a site. Right. Yeah. So I'm going to share my screen. Just confirming everyone can see my screen.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a demo site that we've spun up for. It's called Junk Demo, and roughly this is the beginning point at which the site gets set up. Right now, there are videos and categories and so on. But if we assume none of this existed, we'd first go into site settings and organize the title, the site description, a logo, a favicon, and a meta image at first to begin with. And the site description and the meta image in particular are quite key for SEO in addition to the site title. So as we're building out, like say negotiations.quench, the title would be negotiations, a description here, and then a logo, a favicon, and a meta image over here. The second part of that site settings is populating the welcome section that's visible to first-time viewers or traffic, the general public, not to members. And it's the first thing someone sees when they land on the site. And so that's over here, like a welcome title, distinct from a site title. Welcome title being the text that appears on the left-hand side of the video that tells the audience or the viewer what the site is about, and a little description that goes into a bit more detail on that. And the welcome video over here is usually like an introductory clip from the creator that explains what that channel is about. And again, like all of these are in terms of videos or images, they're the way to add videos or images is two streams. One is to drag and drop, and the other is to add a video URL. So this is step one of setting up the site. Once that is done, then the second bit is to configure categories. So over here, if we proceed with the hypothetical example of negotiations or Quench, you might have one category that is on best alternatives, one category on a zone of agreement, one category on negotiating for commercial contracts, and so on. All of this, like we'll help with the structure as it comes through, but then adding that in is where we're hoping to get like your input.
Great. If you're happy to stop sharing, we'll basically make it so that's 12 or so steps that are really clearly drafted, and we'll populate the video links in spreadsheets, and then we'll do Zoom calls to get it populated. And once we have a colleague, let's say, taking care of networking.quench, the intention is that they take care of that for the coming years, as we add creators and everything else. I want to spend just 2-3 minutes on the last item I had, which is promoting video channels. But let me pause, see if there are any questions so far. And if I may, just while you're thinking, add the reason why the 5 of us want to ideally pair up with 5 people on your side is that Shrey knows, let's say he partners with Mohammed, then every time it's like Mohammed is trained on networking.quench and essentially takes care of that, so that it's not big issue. People change from time to time, it's perfectly fine. But if there's a way, it'd be super helpful.
Shrey, whatever you showed, right? The site, is it networking, or the people? Because where is that? Because you said welcome to Jonk. Jonk is not really a category. Is somebody, one person, right? So it has to be welcome to networking or welcome to negotiations.
Absolutely.
Okay, so site equates to category, and there are multiple people like Jonk inside that site, and multiple video categories from multiple creators. Yeah.
Correct. And we will, and predominantly the focus is just on the 2 YouTube or the 2 free carousels to begin with. We shall. So I will, we're going to draft all this instruction and take it slowly and like step at a time. And each one is going to take step by step. So when we have a creator ready per vertical, we're going to structure that vertical like networking.quench. Then we add a few more creators in there. And then once we have a bit of traffic, we're going to register as, let's say, betternetworker.com, like a unique domain. It's going to be mirrored on networking.quench, but it's going to have a unique domain. Then it becomes a question of how can we help make that rank on Google and elsewhere. And there's just some good practices. For example, putting in comments on like Reddit or Twitter or things that your bread and butter, what you know well. But we'll have unique links in there. So we want to do like an affiliate program where anyone who promotes a link essentially gets 10% of all the revenue that comes from that link. But instead of just going like externally, we could just do it internally, meaning we'll have unique links per channel. And this is what's being developed this quarter. So that unique link is assigned to each person, and that could be promoted. Networking.quench or betternetworker.com can go on to all these different blogs everywhere. And now there are great AI tools that can tell you what comment you should put and put a link in. So it's even easier to do it that way. This is an experiment more for like end of January. But what does that sound like to you as far as, is it a good idea?
I mean, like, I'm just worried about this, you have 10,000 categories and, a 10,000 better networker, better marketer, better product manager.
We're more going to focus about 200 for all of next year. So the first half of next year is just going to be like the 70 that we have and another 30. So we're just going to start in a very measured way.
Sure. I think this, except, this betternetworker.com, is networking at quench.com is not the same, is it?
It's the same. It's mirrored. It's mirrored.
No. It's the same. But can we avoid betternetworker.com?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We absolutely can. Yeah.
Because I just it's good, but then the problem is there is going to be a huge brand dilution.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah,
It's going to be like promoting better network, and there are going to be thousands, hundreds.
Yeah. I hear you.
Everything is Quench. Then we're going to be redirecting everything to Quench.
Yeah.
And it becomes better networking at quench.com, better shit. So it's all Quench. So and we, you can avoid a lot of hassle creating domains, and wow, that's a huge nightmarish world actually.
Absolutely. Good. So my last point is, for the coming few weeks, is it okay if we do just some Zoom calls, smaller groups, just to get going, and we can start scheduling. If it's 9 a.m. every day works, we'll just put it in, and we'll make it half an hour. We'll come up with like a structured list, so it's more practical. It'll be recorded and it'll be shared, and we'll set up a Quench channel purely for training, and so that you can see, recording, watch it, all the different tasks and everything else. Great. It's been really, really good sharing. You see how far we've developed over the last year from our first call. Any comments I've missed, Himanshu or Shrey, or any questions from yourselves, team? No, we're good. Great. Anything on your side?
Hussein, I think we should meet quickly, because I have something really interesting going on. I think we should become creators ourselves. I honestly think there's so much money out there that something like this, right? It's extremely selfish. Whatever we both do should funnel the people that we meet, should be just dropping into Quench and dropping into StepUp, like hotcakes, right?
Absolutely, I'm fully with you.
Because it's not the bullshit. I mean, I never ever want to be a trainer, or never want to be like one of these creators in my life, but I realize that it could be the biggest funnel that we could be creating for both our startups, because I think it's just incredible what we could do with 5 minutes of our time with a founder, because that's all it takes for me to just tell him a few things, and then
I agree. I did that, meaning, so I started a yoga series on TikTok and no one signed up. You wouldn't believe it. And I did some other stuff. The problem is distribution. But
no, it's because you suck at yoga. And you have no credibility at yoga. We both need to do what we are really good at. I know.
I tried the Macarena dance too, Anish. So what we need to do is, I 100% agree, but let us work closely together, and there's video editing has to be high quality and all this stuff. But not only that, we will teach your team how to do high quality video editing and all the other stuff. So great, there's a lot of good stuff to be doing.
Excellent.
So training is out. This question from Mohammed. It will be a step at a time. It will start as like small tasks and building on that. So in the next 2 weeks, we'll put some programs together, like some write-ups, and then before Christmas, we'll get at least 2 sessions in to help structure some of these channels.
Have you identified the 5 verticals? Yeah, Mohammed, go ahead.
There's 70 verticals.
Oh, the one that we're going to start with, the first 5.
Yes. Oh, the first, yeah. It'll be negotiations, networking. We'll do an entrepreneurship one just because it's interesting. Entrepreneurship is like level 1 niche, so it's not ideal, but because of the enthusiasm. There's sales training and there's product management.
Super. Great. The first.
And we're curating the YouTube stuff from that. Plenty grifters to sift through, but we'll get there.
Have you, look, I think, while you guys are doing this, right, figure out a tool or an AI or some mechanism to basically, identify the top 10 videos in any.
That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
That's one thing. See, I spent a lot of time on this, about something else completely, but there's another one you need to crack is taxonomy. Let's say you do networking. What is the best taxonomy for splitting the word networking into, let's say, a course like that, nano or micro modules, right? Because those are also something, that we might need to work on, right? Most of the taxonomy are textbookish usually, and nobody will, really understand the taxonomy if you do, but making it a human readable, human digestible taxonomy would be also phenomenal. And each taxonomy could become a hashtag, and each hashtag could become a super interesting, set of things, right? I already can think of so many things we could do, especially for the most important thing that you said, Hussain, distribution. That's going to be the number one thing.
I'm just going to take 30 more seconds because I remembered, based on our last call, we'll have for each one of these, like let's say it's networking.quench, we'll have a unique Twitter account.
Yeah.
And we'll have a unique LinkedIn, and then we'll just populate it with content. Every time we release something, we'll just populate it there. Equally on Reddit and a few the other key items. Amazing. Anything else before we wrap up? We'll follow up.
Yeah, that's pretty much. Thank you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you, the team.